really breaks your brain to be in love with someone and hate someone so much at the same time. Exactly 1 year ago today, I asked him to leave my life. And boy, y'all, he did. Oh, he did. He discarded me like I was nothing. I mean, I've literally had more emotion throwing away a pair of shoes than he had when he threw away his wife, his kids, his family, his whole life of almost 11 years, and replaced me in an instant. And then the man that abandoned us and is dating someone else was single immediately when he left me. And God was right, and so I asked him to leave. Lord, y'all, why am I starting to cry? Damn it, why am I crying? I wasn't crying before I started this video. Divorce was final last week, so it makes sense. But I was happy, excited, and now all of a sudden, tears and grief again, sadness, anger, all of it, and experiencing it pretty hard, and I don't like it.
Welcome back, family. Today we will review this post-wall modern woman who told her husband that she wants a divorce and ask her husband to leave, thinking that he will beg her to stay in her life. But instead, her husband replaced her instantly, and now she cannot stop crying and playing the victim as they always do. Let's first start by watching her questioning her life decision of leaving the marriage while admitting that her ex-husband was very supportive up until almost the end of their marriage. But yet she still doesn't think for a second that maybe she might be the problem. Also remember that she is the one that told her husband to leave and asked for the divorce. So, do not feel sorry for her.
Y'all, it's been a cry.
And yeah, real quick, this video is from HL Talk That Thought. I always appreciate his work because it takes a lot to put these videos together. So go check him out if you want to watch the video without me.
So I look a little rough. You heard me. Not a Friday, a cry day. Back in the cycle of grief, and I don't know, when does it end, y'all? I'm 10 months out. I haven't been crying like this in months, y'all. I thought I was done with this crap. Divorce was final last week, so it makes sense. But I was happy, excited, and now all of a sudden, tears and grief again, sadness, anger, all of it, and experiencing it pretty hard. And I don't like it. Just feels like I'm not getting better. But my friend, an amazing coach, reminded me that I am getting better and that this is just grief from the divorce being final. And now I'm just kind of grieving all over again. I know people say, why would you grieve if somebody's lying to you and manipulating you? Why would you grieve? And I know it sounds crazy. And I guess that's where I still wrestle with the cognitive dissonance, because when it was good, it was...
Is this my computer lagging?
So damn good. And that's what I still grieve the loss of.
I don't think it is.
And I assume that most victims say the same thing, because why would you stay so long through lies and manipulation if it wasn't good? It's just confusing because he truly seemed to cherish me. I'm talking about acted like newlyweds up until literally 2 months before our marriage ended. And that was an 11-year marriage. Always affectionate, always lovey, always touching, sweet forehead kisses, holding me tight during intimacy, looking into my eyes. We were just very affectionate and loving, literally right up until the end. And it's confusing. And it's confusing because how can someone treat you that way and still have this whole other world of deception? I don't get it, and I don't understand how someone can walk away from their entire family that they built for 11 years and just not give a crap. Their family just ceases to exist, and they just hop right into another family.
All right, so obviously this entire clip, she's putting all the blame on her husband, talking about deception. How could he leave his family after 11 years? But like we saw in the beginning, the opening scene to this video, there's more to this than that.
I don't get it. I don't think I'll ever get it. The damn grief sucks. I'm sick of it. Somebody tell me when it stops, because I thought I was done. It's freaking hard. I miss the good times, and I miss how I thought he cherished me, and I wish he would have been that person. And yet at the same time, I've accepted that he's not. So Cognitive dissonance, wrestling, I guess. I don't know. I thought I was done with this. Ugh.
As you might have noticed that the mighty undefeated Wall had absolutely no mercy on this lady. This woman literally made a permanent decision of divorcing her husband based on some temporary feelings. Note that she recorded this clip about 11 months after her divorce. Now, 2 years later, she's still crying over her ex-husband that she divorced by her own free will while lying to herself by trying to convince herself that she is better off without her husband. Check it out.
Healing from it.
Yeah, she definitely regrets this because it sounds like to me this was a faux sort of ultimatum, which she really didn't mean. She told this guy, you know what, whatever, just leave my life. And I don't think she actually meant it, and he kind of called her bluff. He's like, oh, okay, see ya. She's like, well, hold on, come back. But he didn't. So she had to follow through with her divorce. And here she is, 2 years later, still talking about it. I actually went to her TikTok account and just wanted to see how the people were responding, as I usually do. I usually do actually go to these women's pages and see what's going on. And probably, to nobody's surprise, nothing but female encouragement. And this is why so many accounts like hers pop up. And it's like, it's kind of good for us, right? Because we get to actually see firsthand how crazy some of these chicks are. We actually start to get kind of an insight into really how irrational a lot of these divorces are. And yeah, just nothing but female encouragement. But yeah.
A relationship takes so much courage and so much strength. And I don't think sometimes we realize how much strength and courage we actually have. Lord, y'all, why am I starting to cry? Anyways, I just wanted to say that when he left, y'all, I was so broken. I didn't think I could survive. But one thing I knew, deep down, I knew that whatever it took, that I was going to find joy in life again. I knew that he had stolen 11 years from me and that I refused to allow him to steal my future. So with every step I took to reclaim my power back and regain my independence, it was just amazing, y'all, and I realized how brave and strong I was. Now, sometimes these brave steps were just getting out of bed that day. It's baby steps, y'all. I was so dependent on him and in so much trauma and anxiety. My nervous system was so highly activated that in the last few years, I didn't do anything by myself. I had to have him with me. I didn't realize he was the source of all my anxiety, and I didn't do anything by myself. So after he left, just going to the grocery store by myself, getting out of bed, cooking dinner, cleaning the house, things that normal people do seem like climbing a mountain when you're in so much trauma, are huge, brave steps, you guys, and they take so much courage. Damn it, why am I crying? I wasn't crying before I started this video, but they take so much courage and strength, y'all. So I just want you to know to be proud of every step. It starts with little steps, baby steps that don't seem big, but they're huge when you're going through that type of trauma. Give yourself so much grace and compassion, and little by little, you will take your power back. And then one day, you'll be a year and a half out, and you'll realize how damn brave you are. And you'll realize that you actually...
What are you so brave for? Because you divorced your husband? That's not like a hard thing to do. The brave thing would be to stick it out when you feel like you should leave. When you're having difficult times in your marriage. The brave thing, the courageous thing, the noble thing, the faithful thing would be to stick it out and work through it. It's not a hard thing to threaten divorce. It's the easiest thing. It's a very easy thing to do because you're emotional. You lose your impulse control. Oh, well, you know what? We'll just leave. Then just leave. That's very easy to do when you're in an argument, when things aren't going great. Just flight. Bye, leave, which a lot of these women do. They just walk away, or they threaten to walk away, or they tell you to walk away. There's nothing brave about that.
Have joy again, and that you love your life. Doesn't seem like it with all these tears, but be proud of yourself.
It would be brave if like this guy was beating you and you were scared of like what he would do if you leave him. But that's clearly not the case. She was just talking about how great he was, how affectionate he was all the way up until the ending. The loving eye contact he would give her. There was nothing brave about it. You should have swallowed your pride and said, no, come back. I don't want you to leave. Let's work this out. That would be the brave thing to do. But where do you think she gets this whole brave idea from? I really don't think it's her. Like, I looked at some of the comments, like I said. There's a lot of women using that exact word. You're super brave. I'm so proud of you. You're doing great. That's where that shit comes from.
It's so hard. I'm proud of you.
I mean, I don't know who she is really trying to convince that she is actually happy here, but I believe that you guys can clearly see that she is just pretending to be happy, as they all do. Now, in the clip we are going to watch next, she will admit that she was the one that asked for a divorce and asked her ex-husband to leave. But I want you to pay attention on how much she plays the victim card. She will state many times that her ex-husband refused to support her when she needed it the most, which is a complete lie, and I will prove it to you later on.
Yeah, well, it's a contradiction from what she was just saying earlier. What does this say? 1 year from reverse discard? Is this some sort of psychological term they've come up with? We hear a lot about this shit. Just like, what is the other one? Avoidant. Some of this psychological bullshit these women come up with. 1 year from reverse discard. What does that mean? Oh, you mean 1 year from you telling him to leave? Is that what you mean?
First, let us watch her playing all her victim cards.
Exactly 1 year ago today, I asked him to leave my life. And y'all, I don't know how I did it. It was by far the hardest thing that I have ever done.
Okay, so there you go. Let's go ahead and rewind that to really emphasize it.
Exactly 1 year ago today, I asked him to leave my life. And
there you go. I could end the video right there. That's it. She initiated this. She is the cause of her own suffering. And then she's going to start shit-talking the guy about how he chose to leave his family. And it wasn't her at all.
I don't know how I did it. It was by far the hardest thing that I have ever done. I've been in my journals today looking back, and yeah, I've never been through anything so painful in my life. I was in so much trauma then. I was killing myself to save my marriage. My nervous system was so highly activated in trauma. I was later diagnosed with PTSD that I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep. I lost 70 pounds in trauma, and this man watched me waste away and continued doing the same things. And then,
you literally told him to leave. Anything else you say after that, you're just putting all the blame on this guy. Look in the mirror. Take some accountability. You are the reason your life is the way it is. You're the reason for your trauma. They should have some sort of psychological term for someone who self-sabotages, because that's exactly what you do. That's what she did. You are a self-saboteur.
brain tumor grew, and God said, "Girl, wake up. Wake up. This is not love."
She mentioned God.
And God said, "Girl, wake up."
There you go. Again, they are all prophets. They can all hear God speak to them directly and audibly.
Wake up. This is not love. By the time my brain tumor grew, he was already stonewalling me for holding him accountable for the first time in our entire marriage. Wasn't the first time he stonewalled me. He had done that a lot. But it was the first time I'd ever stuck to my boundaries and continued to hold him accountable. And he became mean. So when my brain tumor grew, I literally begged this man for compassion. I begged him to be there for me.
Wait, brain tumor? Is this metaphorically or literally?
And if he couldn't love me as his wife, I begged that he could at least love me as the mother of his children. And he couldn't do that either. And then I just begged for any kind of human compassion, and he wasn't able to do that either. He continued to stonewall me in the scariest time of my life. I was facing chemo and radiation, and they were going to radiate.
Okay, so yeah, so literally had a brain tumor. So look, That sucks, right? That definitely twists this whole scenario up a little bit. But again, you were the one who told him to leave. Again, that's your fault, right? That is your fault. And it's very unfortunate she has cancer or had cancer, whatever. Still, you tell this man to leave your life, and then you're shocked when he does exactly that. Don't threaten these things. Don't say these things if you don't actually mean it. They don't actually think about how it feels to hear something like that. It's games. You're playing games. How old are you? Enough with the games.
An unknown entity in my brainstem telling me that it could disable and or kill me. And I've since received a second opinion, and they're not going to do that. I still don't have a prognosis, but God used that to wake me up. He said, let's get with the program. This ain't love. If this man doesn't care if you live or die, how can you continue fighting for him? And God was right, and so I asked him to leave. And boy, y'all, he did. Oh, he did. He discarded me like I was nothing. I mean, I've literally had more emotion throwing away a pair of shoes than he had when he threw away his wife.
Okay, so it sounds like what happened was she wasn't feeling heard. That's what she felt like he was stonewalling her, even though just previously she was talking about how affectionate he was, how loving he was. This is a complete contradiction to what we heard earlier. So it sounds like she's saying, I didn't feel seen. I didn't feel heard. So I told him to leave. And then he did exactly that. However, right, this is a contradiction to what she was saying earlier about how fantastic he was, about how great he was, about how the entire 11 years it felt like they were newlyweds.
His kids, his family, his whole life of almost 11 years, and replaced me in an instant. One of the things I said just weeks before he left, I was journaling and getting strong enough to leave, though I didn't realize that at the time. But in my journaling, it said, he doesn't love me, I'm replaceable. And I was right. And then it also said, I guarantee you, he will be out of his mom's house within weeks. He will find a girl to let him live there. And he did. I know this man, y'all. I knew exactly what he was going to do. And my next prediction is he's probably about to get married to her. After he left, I was in so much pain. I've never felt so rejected, so unloved, so worthless in my entire life. That was a really painful time. And I'm so grateful to everyone on here that's lifted me up along the way. You guys have no idea how much it means to me, truly.
I still don't get why modern women think that they are irreplaceable. Just because a man loves you doesn't mean that he cannot replace you. She asked him to leave, and he did just that. I salute this man for knowing his value and respecting himself and refusing to beg to stay.
Is this the guy?
If a woman tells you to leave her, move on with your life immediately. And the worst part of this story is that this man was a very present and supporting father and husband, as you can clearly see for yourself right now on your screens.
Oh, wow.
He was always making sure to spend quality time with his daughter and his wife. He was even a father to this woman's children from her previous marriage. They all...
So he wifed up a single mom, did he?
...loved him and consider him as their daddy. I mean, what you are witnessing right now on your screens is a Father's Day celebration that all the children of this woman and their daughter organized for this man as a surprise party. That just shows how much he was involved in all these kids' lives.
And that's a good point. You don't do something like this for someone who's a piece of shit. You don't feel inclined to do something like this for that type of person. So this tells me they love the guy. And why do they love him? Well, because he loved them as well. There's a reciprocation of love going on there. So, of course, we always have to keep in mind, and really, we're only going to hear about this through the woman. It's only going to be the woman presenting this story. But just imagine if this guy had his own TikTok account. What would he say? Right? What would he say? What would his story be?
I strongly believe that she wanted more from this man, like they always do, and that is why she was not happy during the last 2 months of their marriage. And instead of compromising, she preferred to tell her husband to leave, thinking that it might scare him so that he can submit to her demands. But it all backfired when he decided to leave, and now she is even shocked that he decided to get out of her life completely, including her children. Check it out.
If you're a step parent and you call those children your children and you show up for every event and you never once call them your stepkids and you develop a bond with them.
Wow, so now she's weaponizing the children and making it another. This is just another problem you have when you go ahead and get with these single moms. It's like it's just another hurdle you're going to have to jump through. Don't call kids yours if you don't mean it. It's just... It's never going to be enough. You might cross the boundary, and the mom might not like it. You don't get close enough to the boundary, and the mom won't like it.
Those are your kids. If you raise them for the majority of their childhood, those are your kids. So if the marriage doesn't work out, guess what? They're still your kids, and they don't deserve to have it any other way. If they love you as a parent, if they're bonded to you as a parent, you're their parent. So if you discard them when the marriage ends, you hurt them and you leave abandonment wounds, just as if you were a biological parent. How does a parent do that? How does a person discard children? Divorce is hard enough, and the kids are innocent.
She's just selling us on why you don't get involved with single moms. Holy shit.
The audacity of this woman is just out of this world.
That's true,
She decided to divorce this man, but now she is trying to shame this man into continuing to build a relationship with her kids.
Unbelievable.
Listen, if this man wants to still be involved into her kids' lives, is by the goodness of his heart. Her ex-husband is not obliged to still be part of her kids' lives. This just shows how needy and entitled this woman really is. The truth of the matter is that this woman thought that she could find better options out there, like all modern women who have already hit the wall so hard think they can.
Oh, gosh.
Now she is out here on TikTok running after
Look
Chad
at
and
this.
Tyrone, thinking that they will commit to
Whoa,
her. She
what
starts
the-
to dress provocatively and doing all these childish dances just to get attention from Chad and Tyrone on TikTok. Even her followers started
Well, I think she's probably trying to piss off her ex-husband. I think that's what's going on.
blame her when they saw her posting a picture with this guy who is a self-proclaimed narcissist. Unfortunately, she hasn't fully realized that all men view her as a quick pump and dump only now.
Look at this.
She still thinks that she must be wined and dined before even trying to get to know her. What a joke. Check it out.
I cannot with some guys out here. Some of them have such freaking audacity and think they're just literally God's gift to women. I got dog hair on me. Like women are just waiting to jump into bed with them. So I talked to this guy tonight for the first time. The very second text he sent me was, "Do you want to hang out tomorrow night?" I said, "I can't tomorrow night. Y'all have Zumba. I'm not going to cancel Zumba for anyone." But I said, "No, I can't tomorrow night. What are you into?" He says, "Anything that will get me into you." Well, shit, you screwed that up. Because that wasn't it.
That's hilarious.
Try being a gentleman and maybe getting to know me. You may literally hate everything about me except for my body. But of course, you don't care about that as long as you get laid, right? That is ridiculous. And I know he doesn't know not even one thing about me, because not only did he not ask any questions, but I guarantee he didn't read my bio, because it literally says I'm not easy. And if you're looking for that, keep swiping. All I'm saying is most of you guys are not God's gift to women. You're a 5, 6 at best, and you think that line is going to work. It's not. Now, I don't care if you're a 10, that line wouldn't work on me. But look, you guys, we got
Look, not to come off harsh, but it sounds like he's correctly categorizing you.
options. Y'all better get it together. Get to know a woman, you know, maybe a little romance.
You really need to humble yourself, lady. The mighty wall already hits you so hard that your options are little to nothing, even though you do not want to admit it. I think that you guys get the picture of what is going on here. It looks like this woman is still living in La La Land in her head. She decided to leave her marriage, and now she is back in these streets struggling. Fellas, always protect yourselves against these types of women. And above all, don't forget to keep your head up.
Anyways, yeah, looks like that's where the video ends. Great video from HL Talk That Thought right there. So go check out his channel. Subscribe to both of our channels if you enjoyed it. And I'll see you next time.